We're going to go through the 8 hands that you've played this evening. Some of them are trickier than others, as always. If you have any questions about any of the hands, please send a chat message to the table, not to me personally, and I will do my best to answer it. And that way everybody knows what the question is and what the answer is. We always welcome questions and we always welcome comments, so keep them coming. Okay, the first board that you played is on the screen. Just one made table made a floor to Redbird. I thought this was one of the easier ones, but yeah, congratulations, Terry. I think it's really quite straightforward when you think about it, but let's see what you think about it. The auction is an unopposed auction, and North is going to play it in 3 no trumps after Easter's overcalled in spades. So we will take the overcall as red, and North is playing it in 3 no trumps. There we go. Okay, and we get the lead fairly particularly of the Queen of Spades. What have we got? We've got 3 diamond tricks. We've only got 1 heart trick, and because it was East that overcalled, we're not hopeful that the Queen of Hearts is well placed to make a trick. We've got 2 spade tricks. We have to do something with the clubs. And now here's the point. We could play East for Ace Doubleton. So we could play small to the King and then duck on the way back and hope that the Ace falls. So either way, we're not going to take the first spade trick. He's going to continue with the spade. But we'll see what happens if we try that line. We duck it, and unfortunately he wins with the jack, and now he knocks the spade out, and he's still got the ace of clubs there. So that is not going to work. But here's the important thing that we should have realized, having taken the spade trick. We don't mind losing a club as long as we don't lose it to East. We can afford to lose 2 clubs. We're going to lose the ace anyway, but the first one we can lose to West because he won't have any spades left. And what's the worst it can do? He can play a heart back. Well, let's see what happens. So we're going to play the clubs. Only this time we're going to put the 9 in. We don't expect it to win. We're simply hoping the clubs are going to be 3-2. And provided they are, this contract is cold. West switches to the Jack of Hearts. There is no point in putting the Queen on. We know that the King is going to be with East. And unfortunately for East, when we give him his ace of clubs now, he can't attack hearts without giving us a trick. And in the meantime, we've made 2 tricks. We've got the ace of spades is 3, and 3 more diamonds is 6, and 3 clubs is 9. So provided we play the clubs by starting with small to the 9, there's nothing East-West can do about it. So what's he do next? Well, he probably knocks out the spade and hopes that we haven't got enough tricks. But we have. And we go to claim our 9 tricks. And I know that Terry did play it by playing small to the 9 because I was watching. So well done. Now, was that really hard? I didn't think it was hard, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe you were lucky, Terry. No, I don't believe in that. I think you worked out that that's what you needed to do. If you didn't, yeah, you were lucky. But was it a hard problem? I think it was well solvable with a little bit of logic. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments on board 1? Duck the first spade so that when we duck a club to West, he won't have a spade to return. Doreen, yeah, I make it look easy. Well, it's easy when you know the answers, Doreen, yeah. Well, how did you manage to go off this? Oh, I know what you did, Glenn, is you cashed the other spade. for whatever reason, I just couldn't tell. Would it matter if West held Jack X? No, it wouldn't matter. It went with the Jack instead of the 10, that essentially the situation would be the same. The only time when you would fail would be if East had the Ace Jack 10, and then you couldn't stop him making two tricks in the suit. As long as he's got the Ace and two cards that don't include the Jack and the 10, then you'll always be all right. Yeah, percentage play, exactly. Exactly. Any other questions on board one or comments for that matter? Right, we'll move on to board two. Board two coming up, we think. Send it to the table. This is board two, and this time it is a competitive sequence, so we'll see how we get on. One club opening. South overcalls a spade. West bids two diamonds. Well, what else is he going to bid? He hasn't got four hearts, so we can't double. Pass. Two no trumps. Fairly typical, I would have thought. Pass. Three no trumps. Yes, I've got some good values for you, partner. Now, I know that you've seen a problem like this in the past. If it hasn't been this hand, there's been one very similar. How many got this one right, Sanya? V got it right. Well done, V. Two made and one was a robot. Yeah, okay. I thought Bot was going to get one wrong a bit earlier on. I think he would have done if South had defended a little differently, but we'll come to that a bit later. Okay, we get the lead of the Jack of Spades, interior sequence lead. I would lead the 10 because I play strong 10s, and those of you that don't play strong 10s, maybe you ought to think about them because they are worth looking at, believe me. If my partner leads the Jack, I know that partner's got nothing higher. And here, if this hand leads the Jack, well, he's bid the suit, so you probably think he's got something higher. But if he hasn't bid the suit, then you pretty much had a guess. Does he want the suit back or not? So I would recommend that you try looking at the principle of strong tens. Now, what have we got? We've got two spade tricks. We've got four diamond tricks. That's 6. And we've got a couple of club tricks is 8. Almost certainly the heart honours are not going to be well placed for us. So maybe we can do something more with the clubs. The clubs might break 3-3. Let's have a look. Clearly clubs is going to be the suit that we're going to attack. So we play a club, South plays low, and our king wins. Now we need to look ahead. It's tempting maybe to play the queen of clubs and hope that the clubs are 3-3, but we would much prefer to lead the clubs from the east hand again. The question is, we need to get back to east to play the club, and then if South is forced to play an ace or chooses to play his ace, then we need another entry to get back to cash the club, because he will knock out the ace of spades, and we won't be able to get back to dummy with a heart, we don't think. So I'm sure V got this right because she played the diamonds in such a way that she created an extra diamond entry for herself. Now, when I showed this to somebody the other day, they laid the Jack of diamonds from dummy at this point and overtook it with the queen. It worked, but it only worked because the diamonds were 3-2. And we can do a little better than that, because now the 5 becomes an entry with the 4 from dummy. But we can find out if the diamonds are breaking and still use the same technique. So now this club has won, fairly sure that South has got the ace. We will cash the ace of diamonds and the king of diamonds. but both followed. So there's only one diamond to come. So now it is perfectly safe to overtake the Jack of Diamonds with the Queen. Now we can lead our second club. South will knock the spade out. But now we have the entry to not only get back to dummy with the Queen of Clubs, we can get back to hand to catch that Jack of Clubs, which is going to be our ninth trick. And we'll concede the rest. So this hand was all about creating that extra entry back to hand and recognizing that you needed it. So very well done to V. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? This is a technique that you will see quite often. But you need to do your planning. You need to think ahead. How many entries do I need? Never in the world you would make this. Why not, Sanya? You have a logical mind. You're quite capable of going through the logic that I've just gone through. If the clubs are not 3-3 and South has got the ace, I need 2 entries. One to lead the club, and after the spade has been back, the other one to get back to the Jack of Clubs. And once you appreciate that you need those entries, then it becomes a little easier to work out how you can possibly get them. But I know what you mean. I used to think about that in squeezes sort of 50 years ago. Yes, you need to lead towards the Queen, exactly. So we win the spade, we play a club and it wins. Now we need to not only play a club towards the Queen, we need to be able to get back again afterwards to catch the Jack. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? Then we'll come to board 3. If North, I don't think North can have the ace of clubs on the auction. It was South that bid, so I don't think the ace of clubs could really be with North, not realistically. Anyway, this is board 3 and another competitive auction, so we will give it to you. 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Now, I personally would not bid 4 hearts with this. I would bid 3 diamonds to show a good raise in hearts to at least the 3 level. But however they bid it, we'll give you the bidding that we gave you. Yeah, I think 3 diamonds is a much better bid. 4 hearts to me is totally preemptive, but this is the bidding we were given. They're going to finish in the same spot, I think. 2 out of 6 made and 1 made, I know, because the wrong card was lead. Yeah, the ace of clubs was led at 1 table. Exactly, Terry, yes. Yeah, 4 hearts is a preemptive bid for me, and I think for most people. But these hands may well have been put together a long time ago when bidding methods were slightly different. But anyway, the correct lead we were given was the king of diamonds. Now, let's count our tricks. And just we noted in passing that 6 spades by South would be a much, much better contract, wouldn't it? How you get there is a bit of a problem, though. You're going to open 1 heart, and is North ever going to bid spades once South has opened a heart? 6 spades is much, much easier, much more attractive. 6 hearts presents some problems, doesn't it? We've got 6 heart tricks, we've got 4 spade tricks. The ace of clubs is definitely wrong, we would think. And almost certainly the queen of clubs or the 10 of clubs. That's going to be in the West Hand too. There's so little points missing. You know, there's only 11 points missing, and he's made a vulnerable overcall. So, canapé bidders, well, I don't know. Do Canapé open one spade when they got a 6-card suit in the other major? I'm not sure about that. I haven't come across Canapé for a long, long time when the Italians were using it. But yeah, if they did, good luck to them. They'll get to 6 spades. But we can also make 6 hearts. But how do we make it? So look, we've got 6 heart tricks and 4 spade tricks is 10. We've got the ace of diamonds is 11. And we're not going to make a club trick by playing clubs. And we can't play a second diamond. And if we duck this first diamond, they'll just cash the ace of clubs. What do we do? Well, if we take this ace of diamonds, what are we going to throw on it? We have nothing useful to discard on that ace of diamonds. Throwing a club doesn't help us in the slightest. We've still almost certainly got 2 club users. And taking the ace totally ignores the potential value of the jack of diamonds. Now we're getting a little closer. How many winners can we cash? We can cash 6 hearts and we can cash 4 spades. This is outside of diamonds. That's 10 cards we can cash. So if we cash those, not having taken the ace of diamonds, so we'll go off the first diamond instead, West will be down to 3 cards. What will they be? Well, we're fairly sure he's got the Queen of Diamonds. He'll have to keep Queen X of Diamonds, otherwise our ace will drop the Queen and the Jack will be good. That means he could only come down to a singleton club. If he did that, we could then play him in clubs to play a diamond. So either he comes down to a singleton diamond, which will drop under the ace, or he'll come down to a singleton club with which he can be end played. Have we got that right? Let's see. So we rough that one. Now we need to finish in dummy because we need to have the ace of diamonds capable of being cashed. We must be able to get to it. So we're just going to cash all our winners. Finishing. West is not in any problems at the moment. Deuce is lightning. What does he throw on this one? We can't get it wrong. We know exactly what he's got. If he throws a club, then we will throw the club. We will follow. We will exit with the club. Doesn't matter whether we put the king on or not. And now we got a finesse of diamonds. So we make the last 2 tricks. If instead he throws a diamond, again, we can recognize the situation. And the Jack of Diamonds, that will be our 12th trick. So it's simply a matter of working out what card, how you know he has come down. Well, we assume right from the start, Bob, that he's got the values that we can't see because he's made a vulnerable overcall. So we know he's got the King, Queen of Diamonds. He led the King. So we assume he's got the Ace of Clubs and almost certainly the Queen of Clubs as well. So that's why I'm saying we're not going to be mistaken. You know, when he throws when the Queen of Clubs hasn't appeared, he's still got it. So he's come down to a singleton diamond, and the last diamond he played was the 10. He just had the Queen left. And if he throws the Queen of Clubs, then we know that he's kept 2 diamonds, because otherwise now we can just play the club. So there's no difficulty, or at least there shouldn't be any difficulty, once we realise that he's got the values that we can't see. There's only 11 high card points that are not visible to us, and we know 5 of them, and presumably he's got the other 6. So we expect him to have the ace queen of clubs. Okay. Any other questions or comments? But what, Bob? Yeah, go on. You have a problem with that? Yeah, he's down to 3 cards, Bob. And we know he's going to be down to 3 cards. We'll have roughed the first diamond, and then we're going to cash 5 more hearts. That's 6 tricks gone so far, and then 4 spades finishing in dummy. He can only have 3 cards left. Everybody's only got 3 cards left. And they've either got to be 2 diamonds on a club or 2 clubs on a diamond. Exactly. Thank you, Terry. We've got 11 winners, including the ace of diamonds, but we can't cash that. But we're going to cash the other 10. You're also wondering what, Terry? The same thing? Okay. Okay. Anybody else? No? We love to have the questions and comments. Okay. Right, we'll move on to board 4. Move that out of the way. And take this to the table. No opposition bidding. West opens 2 no trumps and East bids 6 no trumps. So, piece of cake, really. I was a bit surprised at how many people got this right, Sally? Because I thought this was one of the easy ones. Just 1. Congrats to Broom 2. Oh, well done. Well done. I don't know who Broom 2 is. Sheila. Well done, Sheila. Okay, got you now. Okay, Jack was taking a nap. Yes. I was watching Jack, I must confess, and I expected him to sail through this. But he didn't. And let's have a look at the problem. We've got the lead of the Jack of Hearts. Nothing strange about that. And let's just count our tricks. We have 3 spade tricks. We have 3 heart tricks is 6. We have 2 club tricks is 8. We need 4 diamond tricks to bring our total up to 12. Now, there's an absolutely cast iron way of making 4 diamond tricks, regardless of how they break and regardless of who's got the queen. In fact, the only danger is that they're breaking 5-0. Now, let's just think about it. If they're breaking 5-0 and North has them, then we can lead towards the Jack 10. And if North plays the Queen, then we've got our 4 tricks. And if North doesn't play the Queen, the Jack or the 10 will win, and we'll come back to our hand and we'll play another one towards dummy, and we'll generate our 4 diamond tricks. So if North has got 5 diamonds, North can do nothing about stopping you making 4 diamond tricks. What about if South has got 4 or 5 diamonds? Well, now when we play a diamond towards dummy, North will show out, the 10 will lose to the Queen, but now we'll have the Jack and we can finesse the 8. So either way, if the diamonds break more reasonably, then we may give a diamond away unnecessarily. Queen Bells might be dropping, but we'll guarantee that we make at least 4 diamond tricks by playing small towards the Jack 10. So let's see it in action. We will get the first one and play a little diamond. Now, what is North to do? If he puts his queen in, declare has got the 4 diamond tricks. If he doesn't, 10 wins and South shows out. Come back to hand with the spade. And we lead another small one. And, oh well, declare North can take the queen now. Declare has got the 4 diamond tricks that she needed. And the rest is easy. And if South had the 5 diamonds, the first diamond, the 10, would have lost to the queen, but now the 8 will be Declare's 4th diamond trick that she knows to finesse. Easy when I explain it, isn't it? And Jack, I know, was quite capable of working that out. He's having an off night. Well done to Sheila. Okay, so let's claim our 12 tricks. Well, if you're playing pairs, that may be important, Terry. But in all these hands that we give you here, unless we tell you differently, the target is to make your contract. So imagine you're playing imps or teams. Yes, if you're playing pairs, you might lose an overtrick. I agree. That somebody else can make. But if you cross the dummy with a club, say, and take and run the Jack of diamonds, or intend to run the Jack of diamonds, you can't make it anymore. Be a bit unlucky, but you know, in all these hands that we give you, unless we tell you differently, unless we say you're playing match points on this hand, then your target is to make the contract by whatever means you need to. I'm not sure that they all made it by the right route, but let's have a look at it. We get the lead of the Queen of Spades. Okay, now what's the danger suit? The danger suit is clubs. So we really would rather not let West get the lead to lead clubs through our ace queen, because if he does, we're going to lose 2 clubs, a spade and a diamond, if the king of clubs happens to be wrong. So Pat B in the box, well, we're not counting the box, so Pat and B, well done to you. Yeah, thanks. So we don't want West to get the lead. And if we take this first trick, then when we do lose a lead, and we will have to lose a lead in the diamond or a club, then West can get the lead and fire a club through. But what if we duck this first trick? Can West overtake it to play a club through? Well, he could, but assuming that East has got the Jack of spades, we can now finesse the 10 and get rid of one of our club losers, or diamond losers for that matter. So to stop West getting the lead later with the king of spades, we're going to duck this first trick. What's our plan of campaign? We're going to lose the spade that we've already lost, we're going to lose a diamond, and we're certainly going to lose at least 1 club. Well, we can take the club finesse, that's a possibility, but a much better line would be to try to end play East to make him lead a club or give us a rough and discard. What can we end play him with? Well, can't end play him with a diamond, because for that to work we'd need him to have the king and the queen of diamonds. V says she didn't play that one. Well, we can end play him with a spade, yeah, quite right. Pat didn't play it either. I don't know who made it. Because my Jack was sitting west, I know. I don't know, so I don't know who played this and made it. Sam will find out. Okay. Where was I? We can then play East with the 4th spade, assuming that he's got 4. And we can't really end play him with a club because West will have 2 big clubs. You had some help, Dorian. Okay. So let's have a look. So we've ducked the first spade. Now, what do we need to do? We need to draw the trumps. We need to take the ace of spades. He's going to play a second spade. We're going to take the ace of spades. We need to ruff a spade and hope that it's east that's got the 4. But we also need to eliminate the diamonds without west getting the lead. So now, which order can we do this? Well, we can win this spade. We can play a diamond and put the jack in. Not a finesse as such. We're not expecting it to win. I'm muting you all again. Try again. There we go. We're not expecting it to win, but it's in preparation for us eliminating the suit later. Okay. Now, east is not going to, he knows his partner's got the king of spades, but he doesn't want to set up the throwing card. So he doesn't want to play a diamond, that looks a bit dangerous. He'll play a trump, that's not going to do anything about it. Alright, so we'll win the trump. Now we'll ruff the spade, and we can afford to ruff it high, although we're fairly sure we know where the jack is. Now we can cash the ace of trumps, the ace of trumps on the gun, and cross the dummy with a heart. That's the trump gone, and we're in the position now where we can end play east with that jack of spades. We don't ruff it, of course, we throw a club on it. And east now has to either give us a ruff and discard by playing a diamond. If he does that, we'll ruff it in dummy and throw the queen of clubs away from our hand. If he plays a club, that will be straight into our ace queen. So we're going to make 10 tricks. So our line of play, duck the first spade, otherwise west can win a subsequent spade and play a club through. We don't want that. And he can't overtake the first spade, because if he does, he leaves the 10 of spades as a finessing card, and we can set up the spade to teach club. So he can't afford to overtake it. So then we're going to set up the diamonds, we're going to eliminate the diamonds, we're going to play a diamond to the jack straight away, and then subsequently draw the trumps, ruffing a spade on the way, and eventually play the 4th spade, and when west doesn't follow, we're just going to teach a club to end play east. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? On board 5, rather. Quite a tricky one, that, I think. Yes, I think it is. Okay, here's board 6. Now, I'll let you into a secret about board 6. This is not the board 6 that I originally gave to Sanya. I also showed it to Alan, and Alan came back to me and said, "Oh, this is far too hard. I'll never ever get this. I suggest you do this." So we carried out his suggestion. But I'm going to show you both versions. This is the version that Alan thinks is easier. How many made this one, Sanya? This is a 2-note trump followed by 3-note trumps. Yeah, this is the hand that was played. Why wasn't it played? I think. Yeah, certainly played, I think. This is the version that was played, Sam, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So Rhett defended it. Pat made it. Oh, well done, Pat. Yeah, I might guess. Okay, the bots made it too. I was watching one of the bots, and I think the bot would have got it wrong if South had defended a little differently. Because the bot didn't follow the recommended line. But it's only one bot. I think he would have gone off if South had done something differently. But nevertheless, let's have a look at it and see what we can do. Get the lead of the 4 of hearts. North puts the queen on. First test, do we take this or not? We've got 4 club tricks and 2 spade tricks is 6. We've got diamond finesse we can take. The heart is 7. We've got spade finesse we can take. So V made a mistake. Okay. Well, is there a point in ducking? Well, yeah, I think there is a point in ducking because we want to make sure that North can't get the lead later. So there is certainly a point in ducking. But what is our plan of campaign going to be? Are we going to choose which finesse to take, spades or diamonds? And the answer is we're not going to take either of them. The lead of the 4 suggests that this is not more than a 5-card suit. So what we're aiming to do is to take South's safe exit cards away in clubs and then let him have his hearts. So we're going to duck this first one. We're going to take the second one. Now, we want to play clubs until South hasn't got any. But he's got 3, and then we can give him the lead with the heart, and whatever he plays back, if he's only got 3 hearts to cash, whatever he plays back, he's going to give us our 9th trick, regardless of who's got the Queen of Spades or the King of Diamonds. We need to take his clubs away from him first. Now we need to think ahead a little. What are we going to throw when he cashes his hearts? We're going to follow to the first one, which we give him, but then we have to find 2 discards. One of them could be the 4 of diamonds. The other one can only be a club. Because if we throw a spade, we've only got 2 spade tricks, and he can exit with a spade, it won't help us. So, well, we'll be able to get to dummy. Now we can't play the heart. Got that wrong. We need to play the Jack of clubs. And he's still going to play a diamond. And now we will play the heart. We can't put the queen on because if we come back to hand, we have to throw something away when we give him the hearts. He's going to win the Jack of Queen of Hearts, and we throw a diamond from dummy. North could follow suit. But now when he catches these 2, well, we can throw a club from dummy now if we want to. We can get to dummy with the ace of spades. But if we throw a club, what are we going to throw from hand on this trick? On this trick, we can throw the 4 of diamonds. What can we throw on the next trick? We only need 2 diamonds if he plays a diamond. So we will throw, must be back queen of clubs. We can throw a diamond. On the next part, we can throw the queen of 6 of clubs. And now whatever South chooses to play next, if he plays a spade, then we win with the Jack, cross the back to dummy with the queen, with the ace, cash the queen, throwing a diamond away, and then come back to hand with the diamond. But if he plays a diamond, then we have 2 diamond tricks and 2 spade tricks and the queen of clubs. So we had to work out what we were going to throw if we give, if South has to discard something to V, I agree. What are you going to throw is the question. If you play the queen of clubs, we now have to choose as to which suit, if any, South has unguarded. South has bared his king of diamonds, for example. You wouldn't know that. So at this point in time, we're going to make our contract. We've eliminated the clubs from the South hand, and we have end played him with hearts. And it doesn't matter whether he's got the queen of spades or his partner's got it. He's got to take one of those finesses for us. But we needed to be careful as to what we were going to throw on those long hearts when he cashed them. Do we have any other questions or comments on that particular version? Because I'm going to show you what I was going to give you originally in a moment. No more questions? Yes, what we're saying is we're docking the first heart. Our plan is to end play south. We've looked at the 4 of hearts that was led. The 3 of hearts was in dummy. So we're assuming that he doesn't have more than 5. But if we just end play him with hearts without touching clubs, he'll exit with a club and it doesn't help us. If you take either finesse, you're going to go down. If you do cash all your winners, you can in fact squeeze south because he's trying to keep 3 suits. He's trying to keep his hearts and the spades and the diamonds. But if he unguards either the king of diamonds, comes down to the singleton king of diamonds or the doubleton queen of spades, you would need to know that he'd done that to be successful. So our plan, dock the first heart, take the second one, then cash enough clubs here to get rid of them from the south hand so that he can't exit with a club, and then give him his heart tricks. But you've got to work out in advance what you're going to throw on those long hearts, and they can only be in the east hand a club and a diamond, which is why you can't cash all the diamonds. Right, this is board 6 again, but you will notice something different to it. And this is how it was given to you, would have been given to you originally. And the auction this time would have gone 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 no trumps, showing 25, 26 points. But the contract would be the same. But there's a big difference. We're going to try and adopt the same sort of plan, but we no longer have a spade entry in dummy. But what we throw from our hand when we give south the hearts, that's the same problem. We've got to throw a diamond, and the other one can only be a club. But now we can't even afford to cash 3 clubs because we would lose a club trick. We'd have no way of getting to dummy. Let's start off the same way. We're adopting the same type of plan. Only this time, we can only afford to cash 2 clubs. We've got to keep an entry to dummy to cash the last clubs, and we've got to throw one from our hand when we give south his heart tricks. So we forced into the situation where we hope that south has only got 2 clubs for this line of play to work. So we're going to cash 2 top clubs, only 2. Now, is everything lost if south happens to have a 3rd club when we play the heart? He wins. We could go down. We're going to keep the clubs in money. Now, if he cashes his hearts, we can throw a spade. There's our diamond. There's our club. Now, we've played the same so far. If he happens to have a club left and exits with us, we're not dead. We can still choose which finesse we're going to take. And we may have been guided by what North threw on his partner's hearts. This gives us an extra chance that South only had 2 clubs. Now he's in a position where he's got to give us our 9th trick, whether he likes it or not, because he can't exit with the club. But if he could, we would still have the opportunity to finesse in either spades or diamonds. And we would have to guess right if one was right and one was wrong. As it happens, he has to exit one of these 2 suits. And now we don't have a problem. Our losing diamond will disappear on Dummy's long club. Let's play 9 tricks for that. So that's how it was going to be given to you originally, more difficult, undoubtedly. And you have to judge for yourself whether that would have been too difficult for you. I had quite a discussion with Alan about it, and that's why we thought we'd show you both of them. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? This is the hand that I told Sam I changed it, and then I told her the bidding would have changed as well, and I didn't count the East cards correctly, so I tell her again, I'm sorry, the bidding wasn't like that, it was like this. So we led Sanya and right merry dance in messing this board about, but we got there eventually, didn't we, Sanya? Okay. Any other questions or comments on board 6? Suppose you put South in with the King of Diamonds, then he'll simply cash his hearts and you're going to be one off. You'd have lost 4 heart tricks on the King of Diamonds. Yes, sir? Is that right? You've only got 1 heart trick. Yes. Jack's having an off day. I couldn't count up to 22. I made it 23. We all have these off days, believe me. Right. Where am I? I can't get board 7 to come up. Let's try again. Board 7, please. Oh, what on earth has happened here? Board 7. Alright, here we go. Here's board 7. We got there. Again, we have a competitive auction this time. South passes 1 spade from west, double from north, 1 pass, 3 hearts. I think it's worth 2.5, but yeah, I'm not going to knock 3. That's the bid that was made, and north. It's too good to bid 2, I think, is the argument. So north bids more. And we get the lead of the King of Diamonds. Now, let's have a look at this one. What have we got here? Yeah, Fleur made it because the opposition misdefended. I was watching. Okay. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got 5 heart tricks, and the Ace of Diamonds is 6, and 2 club tricks is 8. We could possibly ruff a spade, or maybe even 2 spades in dummy. Is there a problem with that? Yes, there is. When we play a spade, if the opposition are awake, they'll play hearts. And when we lose the second spade, they'll play another heart. And we can't ruff 2 spades with 1 heart left in dummy. So assuming that the opposition will do that, that's not going to work. We could take the club finesse, but you know what it's like with me. When Colin gives you a problem, finesses don't work very often, do they? Well, what else can we do? Well, let's have a look at it a different way. M play east with what, Terry? The club? He'll just exit with the club. Can't end playing with the diamond. His partner looks after the diamond. Can't end play with the spade, and certainly not with the trump. Exactly. Dummy reversal, says Ratner. Well done. Dummy reversal is right. But does that give us enough tricks? Ace of diamonds, ruff a diamond. Over to the club, ruff another diamond. Over to the club again and ruff the last diamond. That still doesn't give us enough tricks. Now all our trumps are high now. Doesn't matter which one we ruff with. Over to another club. And ruff another diamond. Now we've got 6 tricks and we've still only got 3 hard tricks. Where's our 10th trick going to come from? Well, it's going to come from another ruff. We're going to give them their 4 of clubs. Doesn't matter what they play, no point in, he doesn't really ruff it. And nobody can stop us ruffing that jack of clubs with one of our top trumps. Doesn't matter what they play, here comes spades. Play a trump if he likes. And there's our complete dummy reversal. We've made 8 tricks and there are still 2 tricks left in dummy. So it wasn't just a matter of ruffing the diamonds. We had to appreciate that we could ruff the 4th club as well, having given us one. So we leave the trumps alone completely. We take the ace of diamonds, we ruff a diamond, club to dummy, ruff a diamond, club to dummy, ruff a diamond, exit with a club, wait to ruff the 4th club with one of our trumps. And that gives us our 10 tricks. How do we do with any questions or comments for that one? But well recognised, Ratner, that it was a dummy reversal. You're exactly right. No questions, no comments? Toast did that. Oh, well done. What do you think of these hands tonight? Are they in general about the challenge that you'd like? Are they too hard? Are they too easy? We're in a difficult. Well, I say difficult, but we don't want a situation where we make them so hard that nobody wants to take part. But we don't want to make them so easy that everybody finds them too easy and they're not a challenge. So you're comfortable with them, Pat? Okay. So yeah. I mean, if you think they're too hard, say so, and we'll try to sort of turn them down a bit. So we want you to challenge you, but we don't want to make you think they're impossible. They're about right, says Nancy. Okay, we'll keep them on there. I think Alan's got a better feeling for these than I have, I think, but because I set these up and Alan said, no, that's too hard, they won't get that. Okay. Right, we've got 1 to go. We've got board 8 to come. Here it comes now. Board 8. Export to the table. I think this is probably the most difficult one of the lot. I would be quite pleased with myself if I got this right at the table. And that's saying something. Okay, Pat. Yeah, you can talk. You can chat to me afterwards. Yeah. Right. So how's the bidding go? It's a competitive auction. 1 spade from west, 2 clubs from north, and 4 spades from east. Again, I would be bidding 3 clubs. I think I'm too strong to bid 4 spades. So it's a preemptive bid rather than a constructive bid, but nevertheless, that's what we'll go with. Passed out. Okay. Well, we can find your hands that you've had before. I mean, sure, Tanya's got a million of them. I've probably got them on the system. Now, I may not have the paperwork that goes with them, but I'm sure we'll find you some hands to play for as long as we can anyway. Lead is the king of clubs. Okay. What have we got? We've got 6 spade tricks. 1 club trick is 8, and 2 heart tricks. What else are we going to make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 tricks. 6 and 2 hearts is 8, and the ace of clubs is 9. Well, Queen of Hearts might be right. We can finesse a heart. Almost certainly the diamonds are wrong. I know Jack tried to bamboozle the opposition, but they weren't having it. Club Jack to M play north. At which point, Ratner? What we're going to end play north? What are we going to do before we end play north? We're going to cash our trumps, but yeah, if we just end play north with the club, having cashed the trumps, he'll exit with a heart. Yeah, but if we give them a heart to eliminate the hearts, then they can afford to give us a rough and discard and still make 2 diamonds. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that. We've got the right idea, but it's how we eliminate the hearts that matters. Let's have a look. We're going to win the ace of clubs. Now we're going to draw the trumps. It doesn't matter which hand you're going to finish. We are not going to take the heart finesse. We simply play a few rounds of hearts to the ace and king. And now, as V says, we're going to discard a heart on the ace of clubs. Now, if North hasn't got a heart left, he either has to play a diamond, in which case we'll make our king, and that will be our 10th trick, or he will give us a rough and discard, and that will be our 10th trick. And if he has got a heart left, if it's the queen, we'll rough that and dummy's jack will be good. And if it's a small one, we will cover it with the jack. And if South plays it with the queen, then our 7 will be good. The suit will have broken 3-3. So what it boils down to, if North has got a heart and plays it, we're definitely going to make a heart trick. That will be our 10th trick. If he hasn't got a heart, it's a rough and discard or allowing us to make the king of diamonds. Well, let's say he plays the ace of diamonds. This is quite a tricky hand, I think. Now West can claim there because he's going to make his king of diamonds and he's got the rest. He's got 4 more spades and the king of diamonds. That's going to make him 10 tricks. So cool, says Sanya. Do we have any questions or comments on board 8? So well done to Sheila and Jack and Pies. Well done. They made it. I don't know how they made it because I can't watch all the table. Suppose the opposition play a low diamond to the 8, at which point? Fleurette. Fleurette saying suppose the opposition play a low diamond to the 8. After roughing the club jack, if he plays a small diamond towards the 8, well, even if North plays the 10, South should overtake it and play the queen back. And then they'll make 3 diamonds. And they'll still have a heart loser if they rough the club. You gave the ops 3 diamonds. Oh yeah, but the ops misdefended, Jack, because you played diamonds yourself. Yeah. I was watching Jack. He tried to bamboozle the opposition by playing diamonds himself, and the opposition got it wrong, I think. You like the hands anyway. That's good. Okay. Okay. Do we have any more questions or comments? Do you want to talk to me on Zoom, Pat, or do you want to send me a chat as to what you want to talk about? I can put board 6 back up on the screen if chat. Okay. All right. Pat wants to ask me something about board 6, but you can unmute yourself now. Yeah. I'll put board 6 back up on the screen for Pat. Okay. Talk to me, Pat. Oh, that's the second one. Sorry. All right, we'll find the other one. Yeah. Board 6. There we go. Board 6. Let's try this one. This is the one. Yeah. You ducked hearts twice, then stripped right-hand opponent that you ditched 2 hearts. No, he doesn't, Pat. This is exactly the point I was making. You know, that works because South has got both the Queen of Spades and the King of Diamonds. But if North had had the King of Spades, I know, you will make it like that. I agree with you. But the line I gave you will make it regardless of who's got the Queen of Spades and the King of Diamonds. If you play 3 rounds of spades and North wins the trick and South has got the King of Diamonds, you're dead in the water. So you made it, yes, I agree. You made it effectively because South had the Queen of Spades. So it's simply a matter of you decided that South had got the Queen of Spades rather than North. But if you play it the way I described it, you'll make it regardless of who's got the Queen of Spades and who's got the King of Diamonds. You follow that, Pat, yeah? Well done. I mean, well done for making it anyway. Okay. Pat made it by playing 3 rounds of spades and playing South. You had to play a diamond away from the king. So well done, Pat. I mean, at least you had a plan and it worked. So very well done.